this time, are you hearing me? At this time, I like to open the meeting of the Carver Conservation Commission for June 6th, 2018. Our first agenda is appointments and discussions with Jake Arnold. Jake, if you would step up.
Right here?
Right here.
Yeah. Sign in, please.
Yeah. Okay. Don't wiggle too much, this chair's wired.
I'm signed in.
Good enough. Now, would you like to tell us what you're doing up there with your bog project?
So, long story short, I am increasing my water capacity in the existing footprint of a reservoir. So, all I'm doing is pumping the water out downstream over a dike and excavating the earth in the hole that's already there, just to make it deeper. Because right now, I do not have enough water come picking time to pick when the berries are ripe.
Right.
So I end up getting stuck until the guy upstream from me lets his water go, and he has late ripening varieties.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to become independent of the guy upstream from me.
Right.
This is when you remember we had a couple complaints about it, and DP got, some calls. So and so we just wanted to find out what was going on. We went out there and looked at it, and then we just asked Jake to come and explain, what was going on.
We know from looking at a number of projects that this is a standard agricultural practice and highly endorsed by the NRCS, because they have, in many cases, they've given loans to guys to build their dig reservoirs deeper.
Unfortunately, they stopped that right when I applied for it.
Here comes this guy, we got no money, don't we? Okay, well, actually, it looked like a pretty good setting, and I was fine with it. But I'm more familiar with earth removal than most of the Concom members are.
And I do have a copy of his. Remember, we dug out his earth removal permit.
Right.
We have that copy of that.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a statement?
Please.
Mr. Arnold, could you, in the future, and what we're running into is complaints. When you do something like that and we don't know about it, it's all quotes like, here's Carver helping Carver again. It's important that we know, so when people come up with that kind of stuff, we can explain to them what's going on and we don't have to start jumping through hoops. So we would appreciate it in the future. Anything you do like that, if you could just let us know. We don't want to stop you, we just want to know about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
I appreciate it, Jake. Thank you.
I'm new to the whole scene, the whole game, and I didn't know when I started the project exactly what steps needed to be taken.
Yeah.
So I had spoken with Brooke in the fall before I started the project, and we discussed what was going to go on, and I didn't know how much more I needed to put into it. So now knowing,
There's a lot there.
If it ever happens again, I promise.
Well, you never know, and if you do something other than that, even if you have the right to do it, just tell us so that when we get these comments, we can respond to them for you and for the town.
Right.
I'd
So
appreciate
what was the complaint, if I can ask?
Well, just that you were doing activities in the wetlands and so on. Well, of course, because you're farming in wetlands.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people like we talked about, they walk their dogs, sometimes through your property, which they really probably
Oh
shouldn't
yeah, they
do.
trespass
But
on your property, see what
Yeah.
they're doing,
And then complain about
They see stuff going on. They see your water getting pumped, and it's going. And there was something about silting, and I mean we didn't see any, but
No.
the pumping into the silting the river. So things get kind of blown out of proportion, that's just.
I first saw it on the Carver
That's right.
Helping Carver page, and someone had taken an image of the Google satellite of your area with the construction that you could see plainly, and basically said, I guess this is Carver anything goes type thing,
Oh, here it is.
Yes.
talking about my post.
I don't know,
Okay.
is it your post?
That's not what was said. There was no trespassing on the property. The imaging from the property was taken from updated pictures that were done from.
Oh, no, don't misunderstand me, I understand where the
Other
pictures were
It
taken
was
from.
people trespassed on the property.
Well, other people do that, yes.
And that wasn't the case here.
But in the thread of your post was, this is, Carver,
So the question that was asked is, how can this happen to a wetland? And I guess, my name's Scott Diogenes, I'm at 27 John Pond Road. So the water that comes through your property flows to the back of my property. I have wetlands on the back side of 27 John Pond. It was never that bad, it now floods pretty bad, nothing to do with work you're doing. It's because the bogs behind me don't maintain their bypass ditches, so it results in my property flooding. So the reason I raised that, the question was, I mean, when we had heavy rainstorms, the water behind my house was turning brown. So it didn't take me long to kind of pull up the imagery and say, there's no silt fences there, there's no hay bales there. This is, I guess it'd be good to understand from the town's perspective, what's the difference between an irrigation bog or pond and a connected waterway that runs across multiple properties?
Most of the waterways run across multiple properties, and the growers have to be very tolerant and understanding of the fact that they can't hang on to water, and under a lot of conditions they have to let it go downstream because the guy downstream is waiting for it, so on and so forth. There is more understanding about the water movement now, and there's also, was until recently, funding available for people to increase their water supply, because the increase in housing and the use of groundwater by wells is cutting down the amount of water that's available to the growers. So they're having to become more responsible for creating their own supplies and storing them, basically.
Well, what's done to make the determination of the impacts to the bordering vegetated wetlands that are impacted by that work? Then also the pond, I believe just past yours, it's the next lot. I mean, that pond's loaded with turtles. I guess you can call it an irrigation pond, but these things turn into a little bit more than that. There's ecosystems that exist in this pond. In this case, Muddy Brook stream was decimated. A stream that used to run naturally through there was almost 20 feet wide, was cleared, ditched, and put in a culvert under a new road. Or a road that used to be a cart path that was opened up to be 8 foot wide to run trucks across with brand new culverts installed under it. What's the difference between that being purely related to the pond on that property and all the other impacts?
The difference is that it is a wetland that has been determined to be agricultural in nature, and that it is in the ownership of a person who wants to use it. The government has a booklet called Farming in Wetlands, and it will tell you about the changes, the difference in regulations for wetlands under that sort of thing, as opposed to wetlands that are not under agricultural things.
But the DEP regs say the pond needs to be contained on the property. First of all, the cranberry section makes no reference to the ponds, except the ability to kind of use it to flood and work the bog. But the DEP regs says the pond has to be contained on the property to fall into that agricultural classification. So when they're not contained on the property, how can we treat them like they are?
In what way are they not contained on the property?
They have natural streams.
There's a current.
In and out of them.
That's par for the course. As long as you have water starting high and ending low, it's going to flow through there. And as I said, all of the growers know that this is a responsibility on them to share the water, store it, use it, and pass it on. And for instance, we have the Crane Brook, which flows out of Sampson's Pond. Now, Sampson's Pond, everybody that doesn't know about it, as a cranberry person, doesn't realize that it is a cranberry reservoir, that whole big pond, and that there are 7 growers who determine the rise or fall of the water level of Sampson's Pond. And if they need to, they'll drain all of the water out of there because they need it for their bobs. And it goes down the stream and then eventually joins the Willimantic down at the south end of Tremont Street.
I guess my question is still pending of what's done to determine the impacts of that, to help the abutting properties when that type of work is done.
Well, as long as it stays on the property of the person exercising agricultural activities, there's nothing done. I mean, there's no resort.
If there was, red-bellied cooters in that pond, we just don't do anything about it. Protected species,
Well, the stream was already there. The pond was already there.
no, we had a 20-foot wide stream.
Yes.
That has now been obliterated, it's gone. And now there's a 4-foot trench gone off to the side where the water is being sent through.
But just so I'm clear, that has nothing to do with what I've done.
Well, who did that then?
Because I have no idea what you're talking about, to be honest with you. I haven't put in any culverts.
Maybe
I
we'll
haven't
have to go
changed
out on a
anything
walk
like
with
that.
you.
Was that
All
really-
I'm
And
doing-
look at
We'll
where
walk
you're-
out there and take a look at
Yeah.
it.
If you look at those pictures.
We're looking at the
you
pictures.
clearly see a new road going through, and there's culverts under that road. That's the only way the stream can now pass through. The road goes directly through the center of the site. Now, I don't know if that's from the work that's being done on the bogs that exit out into Silver Street. I think there's 2 sites happening there. I could be wrong, but.
There's 4 separate properties, kind of all tied into that area. There's 4 different growers.
And I mean, I'm
And
looking-
they're all doing their own projects right now, so it could be something other
I'm
than
here, I'm
what's
certainly
going
not
on.
opposed, I'm a
Yeah.
firm believer that, if you want to own it doesn't happen in your property, you should own it. I mean, if not, people have the right to farm it. I got concerned, I have had one gravel pit operating behind me now for several years.
Mhm.
I've now got a second gravel pit operating to the other side of me, since July. And I get that that's a way to supplement the income, and I'm actually fine with it, simply temporary ventures, they don't last forever. But when I see this type of damage happening, I'm just concerned that there's no concern that we took a natural stream and just opened it up, and now it runs in culverts under road. And this is a new road, I mean, there was a new road installed through the center of a stream.
We as a committee generally rely on the person doing the work to come before us before a shovel is turned. In this particular case, it didn't happen. What we do, when it happens the way it should, is we go out and we do a site visit. We make sure that hay bales are put around. We make sure that it fits in with everything that we're asked, that we're supposed to do.
Right.
In this particular case, your post notified us after the fact. As you know, where Mr. Arnold is doing his work is not visible from any public road. So it's not as if any of us could drive by and see that this was happening.
I don't
But-
believe that's accurate.
and sir-
The TEP complaint was filed 2 months prior, and they had been in contact with Brooke prior to that, well prior to that post going up. That post was a result of me being frustrated that my neighbors filed complaints and nothing was done. That's why I threw the post.
I just have to tell you real quick, the only thing I got from DP as far as location for that was behind 25 John's Pond. So I went to 25 John's Pond and I looked behind that. I think I told you that before
Yeah,
we
right,
met.
right.
And it was the stuff your father's doing, the earth removal stuff. So I didn't see anything, so I got back to DP and I didn't see anything. And then your father actually said, well, maybe it's something Jake's doing. So then we ended up going to Jake's place and then found out that, I guess that was, so I didn't get a great information from them, yeah.
Well, we'll meet with you on site.
What you,
I don't know where the stream.
you really also, earth removal is the committee that actually steers these activities and decides on them. They're the ones that decide on cranberry activities generally. So we have not been able to constantly remain in touch with them, even though I'm on both committees, but I can't pass everything through my blockhead. So what we are trying, a new policy now is that their minutes automatically from meetings automatically are sent to the Concom, so we have information about what they decided and who came before them. But in addition, we'll try and, when they are questions, we're trying to have people appear before both committees. They meet usually the last Wednesday of the month downstairs in the back end near the DPW office.
I was actually present at the.
Yes, that one. Right, but that is the thing that we have to do. And when you say, that, yes, there are turtles there, and we observe protection of them as far as projects go. But when it comes to the agricultural activity and the necessity for creating a water storage area, we have to allow the fact that the turtles will find a way to cope with this. and we have to let the cranberry grower do what he can do to survive. Actually, he's going to be creating a more beneficial environment for them eventually, but there'll be maybe some
We should still
time.
look at it. We should still look at it.
Well, we did go down there, Tim. Remember, but you had to run back.
I'm trying to figure
Yeah.
out where the culvert pipes were.
They're back where you start to come in, and then you had to go back because you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
go. But I could take you down and show you it.
No, that's, now I remember where they are, yeah.
Yeah, and it is tricky because as I say,
The stream.
who's besides you and your dad and Dom Fernandez? Who's the
Correct.
fourth person?
I don't know. He's in between Dom and I as far as going down the
Is
street.
it
Okay.
Sue Mayhawk's box maybe? Or?
I don't think
That's
Mayhawk's-
those are the bogs that I bought last
Oh,
year.
oh, okay. So yeah.
I think that it's the one that was supposed to be a turf farm, which.
Right.
unfortunately,
Oh.
Okay, well that's the guy.
Turf
That's
farm.
he's working with
in the
Fernandez.
soil in the state.
No, he's working with Fernandez, and
I heard about that.
he is producing turf for things like football fields and so on and so forth. Same AD Makepeace has put probably close to $1 million into a project down there, a company that they bought and moved down here from Canton, and they are shipping stuff all over the Northeast for that truck after truck after truck. So it is a big business. Well, Carver's spending $5 million to rebuild the football field at the high school.
But, so, I guess the answer to my question is, if there was something there that shouldn't have been disturbed, there is nothing the town does to prevent that.
No, it's not an area that is protected. We didn't. There's no was it natural heritage, and
Oh, for the it
If
mapped.
there's not a natural heritage,
If it's not
protection.
mapped, yeah.
then that's
right.
it.
There's an agency, a nonprofit which evaluates the land and the uses of the land, and if it's to be protected, they let us know. There's areas up around the coal property in North Carver that people wanted to build on, and we found it was turtle habitat, and they had to let it go. But
So are you talking
Spotted
about rare and endangered species? You mean,
If there's any-
or
yeah,
just any
No,
type
yeah,
of?
if there's any, well, I articulated it to be
Yeah.
something that was protected, but how do we know that if we don't evaluate it before we allow someone to clear that much property,
Mm.
how do we know there's nothing there? I guess we make the assumption there's not, and if they're fine to just operate, I would think.
As I'm going to reiterate, the correct way to do it is to notify us first. And when that doesn't happen, we're at the mercy of it of coming in after the fact. We rely on citizens like you to let us know. We get a lot of information from people who come in, some anonymously, some not, who say I'm looking at something going on. I'm as vigilant as I can be driving around this town to see things that don't seem kosher to what we're supposed to be doing. But if we don't know about it and it's being done in a place that we can't see, our hands are kind of tied. I mean, our job, probably if we had known about this beforehand, we would have gone out. We would have had hay bales put up. We would have walked the whole property and seen exactly what Mr. Arnold was going to do, and maybe had some suggestions on how to make it better. But in a case like this, because it's after the fact, we're blindsided basically that this was happening.
But does that mean the site work's done?
I beg your pardon?
Does that mean the site work is finished?
Well,
If there's no
no.
site work, why wouldn't that valuation?
But he's already done the site work to keep the stream away from where he's working. If you go there and look, there's a big hole, but the stream is already separated from the site work at this point.
We know the project is still ongoing, which is why we asked Mr. Arnold to join us tonight. We just weren't going to say, okay, fine, it's
the stream has been
You said
diverted
you
to
had
run
nothing
in
to do
two
with the
courses
stream.
around the outside.
Right?
And that way, that'll enable him to remove the earth from the center portion, which is where he wants to dig the reservoir deeper.
A nice hole.
And it's a standard practice. I tell you, I went on the Earth Removal Commission in 2003 or 4, and my very first field visit with them was to a place where a cranberry grower said, I need a reservoir. And it was down off Indian Street, and we're looking at the property, we're walking around, I see a number of nice areas where they could be put reservoirs in, big flat areas. No, there's an 85-foot hill. This is where the reservoir has to go. I was like, oh. Then I realized it's because Yes, that 85-foot hill is
Full of
cash in
sand.
hand for the grower to help build the bog. And the cost of building the bogs runs to well over $100,000 an acre. So they need the income they can get, and selling sand to gravel is one of the ways they can do it. It also is removed and then screened and processed so it can be used again, separated into sand, gravel, fine gravel, clay, and so on. And it's a very complex procedure. But unfortunately, this is one of the things that has to be done. And the ponds that people have associated with their landscape very frequently become reservoirs and are no longer the ponds. There was another case down in South Carolina.
Or they're man-made.
Yeah.
Or they're man-made. And the man-made ones, we have no control over at all.
Yeah, like I said, the general concern here is that this is, definitely seems to be part of it. You know, like, the point that these are all connected, and that, you know, as someone who's, you know, downstream from this, I guess have to deal with whatever washes off that property into mine.
Well, generally, when the water leaves the property, it just leaves it as water. It doesn't carry a lot of stuff with it.
Like,
It settles
what
out.
triggered me to this was I looked back there and I saw brown water. That's
Right.
the only way I knew something had to be up. Which
It's iron in the water.
yeah.
Right, or manganese.
Yeah.
This is,
Mud.
this is different, I mean, I know
Mud.
what bog water looks
Iron
like.
in the water.
This was mud.
Yeah.
It was dirt that was washing into the pond. Imagine a massive downpour. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it could have happened, maybe if the work wasn't even done. That's what triggered it. I mean, that's, you know, that's what got me looking.
So we had offered a site walk, an additional site walk with this
Yep.
gentleman.
Yeah.
You wanna-
Okay.
Is that something you would like to do?
I would,
All right.
Is that something you guys want me present for?
You would be good, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
Probably.
if it's on your property. Well, it is. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, if it is or if it isn't. Once
can
that's
tell us
determined,
when
if
we
you wanna
reach
let
the
Oh,
me
you
edge.
know.
can let people know, okay.
Yeah. And
I mean,
would
if you-
Saturday be convenient for everybody?
I couldn't do it this Saturday, but I could do it the following Saturday.
How does that look for?
Following Saturday?
I'll have to let you know.
TV
I'm in
16th?
Yeah,
Canada.
I don't even know my schedule that far ahead anymore.
I'm up in
I
Canada.
could get you, I could get your email, maybe,
Okay, yeah.
and then.
Well, we'd like to have you
Yeah,
sign in
yeah, why
anyway.
don't you do that?
Email and phone number and things, all
Yeah.
that.
Or, I mean,
Connecting.
can you do it during the week at all, or is
The
you,
week would probably be better, actually.
oh,
Well,
Where
we could do
where-
it
Yeah.
at 4 or
That
5
worked for me.
o'clock
well,
would be
these guys are
great.
good during the week.
Yeah, we
No.
do walks mostly during the week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday mornings, so that we are prepared to deal with those things at a meeting. The Wednesday meeting usually that comes up.
But there are a couple of us now that work during the day.
Oh, Rick!
Oh, you actually do that, huh?
Yeah, yeah, so maybe
feel
we
sorry
could,
for you.
if we could do like a 4 or 5 o'clock where we still have daylight.
That's possible now.
If that's
Summer, yeah.
any possibility to do that. Or I can certainly rely on your expertise. I have no problem with that at all. You guys know what you're looking at,
It's always better to see it if you can.
so.
So, come up with some time, let us know,
Okay.
all right?
Yeah, why don't you, work it out,
Okay, I'll
any,
get-
whatever's
get
best
his email,
for
yep.
the bulk of the board. I think, John, you're okay.
I'm gonna be in Canada for a while, so
When are you going?
I'm out. Huh?
Like soon?
7 miles north of North Dakota.
But when are you going?
When?
I leave day after tomorrow.
Oh, we'll be here the 20th for that meeting?
Depends on what happens up in Canada.
Like, you might
always the
stay there
case.
permanently?
Kind of open on the back side over there.
Okay.
Where are you going to?
Huh?
North of?
7 miles north of North Dakota.
Oh,
A place
okay.
called St. Joseph.
Okay, is that where the Red River,
All right, so forget him.
Manitoba.
met us?
Ought to be.
So you won't be around then?
Yeah.
After,
I can't guarantee when I'll be back.
okay,
Yeah, you've got the contact info, so just let me
okay.
You wanna
So
do something tomorrow afternoon? Is that too short a notice for
can't.
everybody?
I can't.
You
Yeah.
can't? I was just trying to
I
include
can't
Tim.
do tomorrow.
Okay.
No
Yeah,
way.
just, figure something out.
Or maybe that next Saturday.
Well, we don't need Tim anyway, it's on.
That's right, you don't need me.
Let's go on to Manitoba, there's plenty for him to look at.
Manitoba.
Winnipeg.
Win it, there you go. Okay.
Okay, all right, we'll do that.
Okay.
And then, oh, do I have your email?
Yeah, you got
Okay,
all my contacts.
so I'll stick you on, yep,
Great.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, next item is.
Okay, thank you for
Thanks,
coming.
Thank you, guys.
Well, the wife will be around the house anyhow, along with her
Are
sister.
you going by yourself?
Yeah,
Oh, good for you.
Him with the dog.
party on. No, yeah,
Val was
St. Joe, Canada.
that's why it's open-ended.
Does Valor speak French?
Yeah, Val was
beg
gonna
pardon?
squeal.
Does
No,
Val
they
speak
speak English
French?
up there.
Do they have bars up
No,
there?
they don't speak French
In
in that part.
dog language, yeah.
Do they have bars and things up there? or
Oh,
is it
that's
just
all
like
they-
most,
what else is there to do up
cowboy
there?
towns
It's pretty flat.
with the tumbleweeds.
There's
going-
nothing there.
Okay,
Well, I shouldn't
I
say
think
that,
we're-
sorry, cousins.
Okay, I think
You know
we're
what's the
The
already.
truth?
You're gonna be there right at the summer
Next
solstice, so
appointment.
at night, you're gonna be able to look north,
Start
COC.
see
socializing.
light on the horizon, which is
Yeah.
the sun on the
We have
other
a,
side of the
Mr.
world.
a guy from Winthrop.
It's
waiting.
amazing.
Great, thank you.
Okay, next.
I'm gonna stay up all night looking for
That
that
far
one.
south? I don't know. You could see that?
Yeah,
You get glow.
yeah, you see a glow right on the horizon. Looks like, I mean, it's almost dark, but you can see it. You can see it in northern Montana too. It's amazing.
This is like my the kids. that
Okay.
have new-
Only you would come up.
All right, next. CFC for 28 Gate Street. DP SE 126
What do we got?
-202/206. James Rudzer, Esquire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Conservation Commission. My name is James Rudzer, and I'm an attorney with an office in Boston, and what brings me down here is I am preparing for the purchase closing of the property located at 28 Gate Street. As part of my title underwriting, I had a title exam performed, and my exam noted the existence of an order of conditions that was originally granted in 1997. That order of conditions cited a DEP number of 126-202. My exam noted that in June of 2005, there was a certificate of compliance that was recorded relative to what I believe was this order of conditions. However, there were some typographical errors in this that, as a title underwriter, I wasn't comfortable that this, in fact, certificate released this order. I have prepared for the board's consideration a corrected version of a certificate of compliance. There hasn't been any work done. I'm just asking the board to consider cleaning up a few of the errors. Like, for example, the recorded one, it notes the same applicant, it notes the same property address, but it noted a different DEP number. It never noted the date of the order of conditions of September 11th of 1997, and then in fact the book and page of the recorded order of conditions was incorrect in the certificate of compliance. So if the board would be inclined to grant my request for this corrected certificate of compliance, I have one for the board's consideration, and
We weren't here.
Well, my
Well, you were.
my problem was I couldn't
No,
I could
actually,
not
I wasn't
find
yet.
either file.
We weren't
Up-
here.
Like upstairs, we keep the the
Yeah.
archives.
Yeah.
I couldn't find either file, so I'm assuming that it was for the construction of the house. It was kind of around because it was the same. I think at one point there was the same owner for 26 and 28.
It was
he
a
split it up.
subdivided property,
So one of them
yeah.
is Mr. Belman's property,
Right.
and then
The
the,
one-
other
the
one
one
was
up the hill.
28.
Right.
Yeah,
They
and
share
so
the same
this would have
driveway,
been
correct?
would have been
Yes,
for the
same
construction
street
of the
entrance.
house. Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So it would have been for the
Oh,
construction of
that
the house.
house.
Which,
There was
yeah.
a woman who owned it, right?
Well, the couple that own 28 Gate Street, they're a married couple now.
Yeah.
I believe that it is a woman that is purchasing it for my clients. you
But
know.
wasn't the original order like to make it or
Wakekiss.
Wakekiss.
Mark Wakekiss.
Mark
and,
Wakekiss.
Well, that'd be.
He was, I think, the builder.
Peter Shaw.
builder.
Yeah, he was a builder, and so I spent a fair amount of time running his name in the grantor or grantee indexes and came up with a whole lot. I mean, I did as much research at the registry as I could. I'm fairly convinced that this does belong releasing this, and I just have a good faith basis to believe that these are simply typographical errors. There's plenty of consistency between the
Two.
information on the order of conditions
Some
and the
errors.
information on the certificate of compliance, there's just some fairly significant inconsistencies.
Weren't those two houses on that split drive, were they built at the same time?
Mr. Belvin's and then the one next door?
Yeah.
I would say probably, don't you think?
I don't know, but I would say quite possibly, yeah. And Wakis was definitely involved because he's the guy we had to stop from
Oh, yeah,
Messing up
I
the brook.
remember, yeah.
Oh,
Did I
see-
Doten Brook.
Did I
Yeah,
see
he
the
was
corrections
spilling
you'd
debris
like to
into
make?
Doten Brook.
Sure, this is the corrected.
I just wanted to take a peek. We don't have a copy of this in our files?
I can't
did
find anything.
email,
It's very weird.
Ms. Monroe, a copy of the
Yeah.
certificate, the proposed certificate of compliance that I would ask you to consider signing.
Well, if
This
there's
is the order, this is the first page of the recorded order of conditions. And so
So this is the,
that's the recorded
this is
order.
the, and this is what you'd like to have?
Yeah.
Let me give it a chance.
references- I mean, I correct it in terms of the recording information of the order of conditions, and I correct it in terms of the DEP file number.
And there'd be no reason why they would have two orders there.
Unless
Fire.
both houses were built
There
at the same
weren't two
time.
orders.
No, Bob Belvin's old file number is 208. It's
Oh,
not
you know that
206.
one.
Yep.
This is 202.
Yep.
Okay.
The one next door is 208, so it was right after, 202 and 206,
Okay,
but,
all right, so you know what it is.
yep, yep,
All right,
yep.
okay.
I did
So
check
we're not
that.
changing anything, all he's doing is cleaning up and making consistent some language.
Right. Yeah, and it's not surprising the file number might have gotten, changed, but I know Bob Belvin's is definitely,
Thank God it wasn't.
126-208. And we've already, dealt with his COC for that, and then remember the new work that he did, so there's nothing to do with this stuff, so.
Yes, move.
What do you think, Jim? What do you think?
Do you remember that one, Jim?
I am trying to.
That is
I'm
strange.
trying to remember when we first got involved in looking at it. The guy at 26, sir, he had some difficulty in understanding the edge of his property and also proceeded with the building before the building inspector passed the approval of the document. So 6 months later, the building inspector comes over, there's a add-on, an addition being
right.
attached to the house, and the foundation is already begun to crack. It's a real
I see there's
disaster.
nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
earth from
I
the
don't have any problem.
digging of that foundation is spilled down into
Just
the
a-
neighboring
I was just
cranberry
looking what the
bog,
conditions were,
which
it's
created
nothing
another.
specific.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
just
no
think,
This is
conditions,
the one
really.
Standard
above that,
construction,
right,
yes.
above,
Yeah, there's no real
Right.
conditions in here.
yeah,
It's all boilerplate stuff.
I don't think I have a problem with it, Saber.
I don't either.
No,
I
I
just-
mean,
Rather than delay it, I
insurance,
mean-
but no, we
Wanna make-
There are no
It's like this-
specific
we're gonna look at the
motion
house, yeah.
conditions.
Motion
There are no
being done,
specific
accept
conditions
this?
on there that
No.
are outside the realm of regular construction.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if we can
So you gotta
actually
mention-
do that
mention-
though.
mention this
But,
with
if we
this.
can
This is
So
his.
what was
Because
that?
basically, this is now
the
a
errored one.
document that's been
This
filed
is the real one.
Oh, yeah.
by the court, we can accept the amended as far as our records go, but it will have to go to the registry, right?
If the board would be so inclined as to grant my request and actually execute it tonight, I'll be recording that on Friday at our closing.
So
And
the registry won't have a
exigency-
problem
Oh,
with
okay,
that?
all right.
No,
Oh.
no.
So
Okay.
Okay.
we need to make a motion to,
Except,
Approve the amended.
Yeah, and you need to sign it.
Certificate of compliance.
Right.
All right, I'll make a
Sure,
motion that we
forthwith.
approve the amended certificate of compliance for 28 Gate Street, DEP number 126-202.
dash,
I mean, because the registry's
second
gonna
that.
check the book and page and all that
It'll be
stuff anyway,
signed,
so if
too.
it's not right, they'll tell you.
202.
Let's see, 202 is right.
what is this?
So is it actually 202? It's actually 202, right? Is the right
Well,
one?
the board has the recorded order of conditions, and I believe that it is 202.
Yes.
not
It is 202.
206.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
But where's the 206 number come in?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to.
And that's
figure out.
when Ms.
See,
Monroe,
on the
who I would
agenda,
might
it's
add has
202 on
been
there, though.
exceedingly
It's
helpful.
202 on
in
all
this.
these pieces of
Okay.
It's
paper.
only 206 on our agenda.
Right.
I put slash 2, yeah, because I wasn't
All
sure
right,
which
so
one.
let's sign
I
this.
seconded that, Mr. Chairman.
Right, okay, so, shall we, it's
That's
been
one-
moved
that's
and
one
seconded
signing.
to accept an amended order for, what is this, certificate of completion for the property at 28 Gate Street, which we know as DEP 126-202, or also /206.
It's actually
So-
202.
I'd stay with
I
the
don't know what
206.
206.
Yes, Alan seconded. On all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, we've approved it.
Okay, so I guess we're signing this order then, is that what you want us to do?
If they would, and if it was issued to me forthwith, then I'll make sure that a recorded copy goes back to Ms.
Yeah,
Monroe.
please, yeah. No,
Yeah,
we'll
we'd
have-
appreciate
We'll
it.
have it for the file that
Would
we
you
don't
say
have.
you're closing Friday?
Trying to.
Make it easy for you.
Thank you.
And I'll put it in the file that we don't have.
Can we get a copy of this tonight before he leaves with us?
Yeah, we probably.
I can't get into the other office.
Take a picture with your phone and print it out.
Not that I doubt his credibility.
No, it's
I'm
just,
sure
well,
he'll
we should
send
have a
us
record
copy,
of
but
it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you know what?
Anybody who comes here in a suit, you can't deny it.
I'll take a picture of it, just so that we have it.
I remember those days.
Brooke, that's the thing we should handle in the future. You should have an ability to go in
Should
and
have
make
an
copies.
ability to make
I
copies.
know, I
What are
don't
those
have,
anymore?
I don't
I
have
got
the key.
20
to
suits
get
in.
that. I know it,
And we're gonna have to
Really?
arrange for that.
yeah.
Dust about
Cause there's
that.
been a couple times when I wanted to make some copies. of
Either that or we'll have
Put
to
'em in
bring
those
Deb in on
plastic things,
overtime.
and it's-
Yeah, so if we
She'll
need-
do that.
It's in that corner. I think I pulled one
And
out
Michael
once
would
a
love
year.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Wedding and grab the first one.
How do we ever live without this technology, right?
It doesn't look comfortable.
Are you just taking a picture?
That's why
'Cause
he
there's
sleeps.
I have an app that is, it's called Genius Scan, and it takes a picture and then converts it to a PDF. It cleans it up.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those apps and I don't
Do that.
use this enough, so I don't, I just want proof you don't go out of the back room and change all this.
Why would he do that?
Okay,
And if you change it, just send us a copy.
thank you Al for that.
If we did that, we'd
just
have to
kidding.
take
I'm
one of
just
those
kidding.
cranberry bogs and.
Well, if
I
you
don't-
change it,
Al.
you send me a copy at
We
least.
never kid.
Okay, all
All
right.
right then.
All right,
Okay.
So that's
give
concluded.
him his paperwork. He'll have to go to.
Good luck,
You
Mr.
go.
But I
President.
swear they signed it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck at the
Take care.
closing.
Thank you for explaining all that. And sorry about the missing files. Yeah,
All right, what do we got
That's
going
all the
on?
way down from.
And we got a
Boston.
septic upgrade at 179 Plymouth Street. And,
Yep, that was, that's right, kind of right as you get on to, almost across my doggy mall.
yeah,
You know, it's the backyard's wet, but it's a septic upgrade. That's the place where they're having problems with, it's been apartments and it's not supposed to be, so there's
Right.
some other problems with building,
yeah.
water health and stuff, but the septic upgrade is.
With that little old lady next door?
It's, no, not next to doggy mall? No,
Yeah.
this
Next
is
to
on
the
the other
post
side of the
office.
street from the.
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
On the kind of riverside where.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and we have to, it's pro forma that we have to approve any septic upgrades as a health measure,
Yeah.
so.
All right, so do we need a motion?
Yeah,
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the septic upgrade at 179 Plymouth Street.
I'll second that.
been moved and seconded to approve the septic upgrade for 179 Plymouth Street. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Pass unanimous.
Okey dokey.
Okay. All right. Then we have a COC request,
And you came,
14 West Street.
even though I told you you didn't have to.
Did you? Okay.
I think I did.
I'm just here in case you had any questions.
When we went out today, this was for the solar on West Street,
Right.
Dick Woods.
Yet again.
Right.
Yep,
Very clean looking install.
Yeah, it was nice, looked good.
yep.
All right.
So,
Nick?
so we see no problems with it, therefore, I ask a motion to approve the issuing of the COC.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to issue a COC for 14 West Street, 14 Rear West Street Solar. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously.
We can remove the corrosion control.
Uh,
I think there's.
Yeah. Erosion controls?
Yeah.
Went over
Yeah.
that side
Oh,
so you
yeah.
can be
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the first
Yeah.
one.
Do you want it to,
Thank you, Dean. What's that?
wait 1 second.
Sir,
Do we want it to grow back a little bit and dry out? Remember we saw a lot of mud in between the rows?
Well,
Or-
I think that'll happen just in
Okay,
time.
that's
yeah.
fine. All right.
You know,
Just
the
asking.
where the vehicles moved in between the lines of panels, there is some mud and so on. So for, yeah, and it will in time disappear as the growth.
If it doesn't grow in, we'll come back and reseed it. That's what we always do.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had, I reseeded the whole thing. It was germinating properly when I had gone by, but we'll keep our eye on it and reseed any areas that still need it.
Okay, yeah, I think it was just like truck tracks and everything and probably with
yeah.
the,
I think that hard rain we had yesterday
I was gonna
just
say
left
probably
some white
did.
spots
Yeah.
Might be it.
It
down
could
the
be.
center aisles, you know?
it could be.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
Keep our eye on it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Dean.
Sometimes they don't do a real good job
What is this?
of loosening up the soil.
Yeah.
So there might be some compacted areas that you can come in and rake and reseed.
you might want to leave before you say too much.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Okey doke.
What was that fellow's name?
What's that?
It's Nadine, was
Yeah.
it? Oh,
I know, we never,
Looks different,
doesn't
yeah.
usually have a hat on and stuff, yeah, it was Dean Smith.
yeah.
Yeah. I know, I
Godfrey
know, I told him he
That's
didn't.
right down the street from me. What they want?
Let's continue.
Oh, okay.
They seem to move him around.
This is
too.
new hearing.
So
This is-
sometimes
oh,
you talk
continue
to
till
him,
what the heck
he
is
says, "Oh, I'm not on that project
Zero
anymore."
Rochester
And then
Road,
when, and he was
continued
here for the
hearings.
Zero Center too, but the other guy did all the talking, that Josh
Yes.
Farkas or something, yeah.
Everybody give him
I know,
Okay.
I know.
Oh,
And I think
that's
there's different
for her.
Borrego offices, aren't they? I mean, they're all Borrego,
Yes.
but they.
Doesn't
Right, it
say.
says Boston Branch, but they're actually located in Lowell.
In Lowell, right,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's where he's from. He's out of Lowell. Okay.
So
Okay.
you have to state on this,
No, we got more here to
Oh.
do.
We're not done with the
Not
front
there
page
yet.
yet.
Stop going ahead.
Yeah, we have an extension
I'm
request.
sorry, I missed the
Extension.
bottom
We
line.
have the extension.
landfill.
Yes, Carver, Marion, Wareham Regional Rescues, 118 Federal Road. Okay, and that's a request to extend the time for them to finish up with the capping the filling and capping the landfill. So, what did he say? We don't have any paperwork on it, but it's roughly, thought, a year and a
No,
half.
2 years, 2020,
Yeah.
2021.
And the extension's good for a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he figured they would be done by then, pretty much.
Okay,
And then they were gonna
so-
do some plantings and stuff. But I think he said.
2020.
22, did he say 20?
You want to be out of there by 2020.
We really
Right,
should
well, he
have
thought
somebody
that
in.
CMAS was closing by 20,
Yeah.
or, no, that they would be done by 2020.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
thought that was done in 2021.
I thought, I did too.
Thought it was
I
after.
disagree. I thought
But
you said
anyway.
2020.
Yeah, cause this got extended automatically under the, Extension Act there.
Uh-huh.
So now that that's done, then he's come to us and, actually, this is extended for 3 years. It is for 3 years.
Okay,
Till 2021, that's what I
21.
thought.
that's what we thought.
Okay, yeah, that's what they usually, I thought he said
That
a year
was,
today, but no.
Section 8
Yeah.
or whatever.
What's the date on 2021?
6/15.
6/15.
6/15.
6/15, sorry.
Okay.
6/15/2021, yeah.
Okay.
But he thought they probably would be done before then, didn't he? Or
Yeah,
no?
I could have sworn he said 2020 when he was.
I thought
when
he
they
They were
were
gonna
in
finish
the
the area
trailer.
that they were doing, and then they were gonna do the very top.
Right.
Yes.
Cap
The
the
rest
flat
of it,
area off.
yeah. And then they need to do the plantings before they get the COC,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so motion to approve this request for the extension.
I'll move that we request the 3-year extension for the Carver, Marion, Wareham Regional Refuse Facility at 118 Federal Road.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the request for an extension of time limit to 6/15/2021 by the Carver, Marion, Wareham Regional Refuse Landfill. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimous.
Mr. Chairman?
God, these are guys.
It's been postponed,
Yes,
See
they
what you're-
didn't send out their,
and this is removed.
yep. They didn't send out their burn.
Okay,
So
we
it's
should
the
put
minutes
this
and
back.
we're out.
So this is continued to.
Unbelievable.
So now we're just looking at minutes.
Okay, so that was.
Okay, minutes of May 16.
Zero inches, so what do you want me to put in the minutes? Just so-
I have a letter, from him withdrawing his application. So I'll have Jim mention, we can just, say that, but you can just say the applicant.
Right, when we get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Okay, so on May 16th, review that. Okay.
Guys, it's just too quick for me tonight.
2021.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Where's Braddock Way? I'm pulling a blank.
What's that?
Braddock Way. Tree cutting request. You read?
Oh, Braddock Way, I tried he lives in one of those new condos, and he called me and said he wanted to come, and there was a couple of little small, like,
Behind the
birch.
doggy mall?
Yep, birch saplings that were hanging over his, and he wasn't even gonna, he wasn't gonna
Yeah.
pull out the stumps or anything, it was just minor work for him.
These are all continued hearings. Continued hearings.
Remember you had a question about one thing about the conditions, it would be driveway, but I think that was kinda, yeah, you highlighted it, but I didn't really change it, because we put that in as conditions, so I think maybe somebody just said some conditions about, the erosion controls and.
Sometimes they talk fast.
Right, so I just left it. So then, I'll change it.
Okay. Yeah, 073.
So straight, just
Or
leave
have
it.
Yeah.
Take the yellow off.
Yeah. Unless these guys change it and they sort of say something else, but I think probably.
We got everybody's phone number.
Yeah. So.
Feels good to be able to put your feet underneath here and not hit a dog, huh?
I feel spurned.
You adopted me.
Yeah, that was down.
You
That was
adopted
been
me.
someone did.
Yeah. Broke my heart. He's got dogs.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, I'm going over there.
I have visiting dogs. I have 2 German Shepherds that come over twice a day.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes of the May 16, 2018 meeting as presented. I don't see any corrections.
I will second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of May 16th as written. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's good. Pass unanimous.
Easy pleasy.
So, we've got that done. Now we go to new hearings.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Lot 6, Godfrey Circle. Before I read it, it's been continued, right?
It has.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I guess you might as well read it, right, because it really hasn't been open. But, I don't know.
Yeah, if we
Read
know,
it again, so.
Well, they didn't notify the abutters on time.
yeah, so we
So-
know, there's no point in
Yeah.
reading it because when they,
So, yeah, so we will open the next one.
Yeah.
The next
So
one
that's,
will
that's
open.
actually.
really, we can't open it unless that,
Right.
before my, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so, next, actually, we can't even really continue it, but we just will reschedule it.
Right, reschedule.
Yeah, okay. So continued hearings, 0 Rochester Road. And that we've also had a request to withdraw, right?
Yeah, I got a letter from the applicant withdrawing the application for the solar at Edaville. So it's, there's nothing.
Didn't get far. Okay.
Yep.
So it's withdrawn,
It's withdrawn.
close it,
Yep,
forget
so
about
they-
it, we're
If they
done.
wanna do it, they'd have to refile and, withdraw without prejudice is
Yeah.
what they do, yep,
Okay.
That's great.
yep.
And that's that.
Yeah, I do have one more thing. I did get a letter from Edgewood Bogs. Which is what should happen. This is like we're just talking about it on Jake's. Just saying that Edgewood Bogs is replacing an existing lift pump on Ward Pond. So he's just telling us. It's part of his,
There we go.
agricultural.
Okay.
But that's really what.
That's the way it's
so
supposed
we
to be.
have this in the file, so if somebody drives by Ward Pond,
Yeah.
we know what's going on. So,
Right. Let's go.
That's fine.
yeah, that's, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Pine Ridge.
Well, do we wanna, with this too, right?
Oh, the
This-
floating?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just to, I mean, it should be part of the
Yeah.
record, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep, so I gave you a copy of DEP's decision on the floating solar on Purchase Street. And they have issued a negative, for, a negative superseding order of determination, basically agreeing with your determination, which was negative, saying that they can go ahead with the pilot project on that reservoir. Yep, saying that there wouldn't be any.
Did they give a timeline on that?
I think, did they, I think it gave it 3 years, didn't they,
Yes,
Sabri? I think it's
what's in here?
Yes, yes.
3 years.
3 years,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
But I thought that the pilot, wasn't even sure they really wanted to do it for that long, did they? I thought they just wanted
they're
to.
only
Well-
giving them 2,200 square feet, I mean, it's not like,
Why
they're
don't
not
you do it
giving them
over
an acre
winter?
of
Right.
bog, you
So
know?
they're gonna have to
There'll be
wait
a
probably
couple
till
of
next
them.
fall.
So they'll probably wanna wait for at least one winter.
Or they
see
could,
how it-
they could start it now, but have it go through the
Right.
winter, cause they wanted to see how the modules
Yeah.
held up under a typical winter.
And then I couldn't remember, they're gonna hook that up?
Yeah, I think he said well, he said it was only 10 kW, right? It was a small,
Yeah,
It's not big.
I don't think it's gonna go to the grid, but because there's no,
No, I think what they were going to do, if I recall, was they were gonna hook up some sort of a power source
Yeah.
because the units, when there's snow,
Yeah,
they draw water from underneath them to clean the panel.
oh.
They sort of rinse it off, so the
Oh,
snow
so
slides
they
off,
kinda need
and
to have the
that's,
power
the
to do
power from
that,
the
right.
solar does that.
Oh, okay,
So
Yeah,
I
the rest
believe
of it
that's
goes
what
to
the
my
woman
house.
said.
yeah, I think
The
you're
rest
right.
goes to your house.
I know it
Goes to my
was
house.
pretty small, it was only 10
Yeah,
kW,
was
and
it?
it's only 2,250 square feet,
Yeah.
so.
Right,
Yeah.
This is still in the
Yeah.
test stages, I'm
right. It
assuming.
wasn't gonna hook up to the grid, but I think
Right.
they were gonna generate some power.
So the only thing that could happen, I mean, the neighbors could still appeal this again if
They
they,
could.
if they really wanted to, but I don't think they will. Because I think at
Well,
the site
they,
visit.
they have that option still to appeal.
Yeah, but.
And they have, what, 15 days on the
10
appeal?
days.
10 days.
But didn't at the site visit, didn't the neighbors say, oh, I didn't have, wasn't really sure exactly, didn't he kinda back down a little bit? I thought
Yes.
he did.
yes, he did.
Is he
We'll
wasn't-
find out.
He didn't have all the information and stuff, so,
Well, we'll find out.
yeah.
Okay.
That's right. If
But
he,
they'll get a copy of that, so they'll,
Yeah.
if they wanna appeal it, they can appeal it to Duke, to him, they have to have a lawyer.
Let's go.
Okay.
hey,
I doubt they will.
So this just goes in the record, right? We don't have to do anything with
We don't
it.
have to do,
Playing for now.
but they'll be, they'll be doing the work. So, yep, so it says basically they don't have to do anything else, they don't have to file a notice.
So now on
So let's
to
get to the next
the next thing,
issue.
what to do with this.
Oh, for the
what's our next issue?
floating solar,
Yeah.
you could just say,
Pine Ridge.
Pine Ridge, that's it, yeah.
oh,
That's not on the agenda, is it?
just say, DEP issued,
So not on the agenda.
A
I
negative.
think it comes under unanticipated because it came up at the last minute.
Yes.
A negative the negative
We have, right.
superseding determination.
Anything that comes up within the 40 hours prior to the meeting, it can be put on the agenda without, by
Which basically
being
agrees
written
with.
in.
Especially this, in case of emergency.
Well, that's what
It
this
just
is.
says
I
that
mean,
we
this
don't have to do
is,
anything, you know,
it seems
the
to have
project
blown up
will
in our
go.
face over the last couple of
We don't
days
have
of
a
being
final
notified of it,
notice
so.
of intent or anything like that.
So let's talk about this.
Okay, now ensuing discussion of the clearing by property owners along the edge of Sampson's Pond at the additional condos at Pine Ridge.
And I do have copies of the letter, you know, that we had sent them after they came in, in September, you know, the other.
Telling them not to do anything.
Yeah, the other portion of the association, which is before the second phase, but anyway, I have the letter thanking them and saying, reiterating that we didn't want them doing anything else and blah, blah, so. I thought that was gonna go like into the clubhouse or something, but anyway, so the person who made the complaint, said that the new trustee, everybody had been informed that they weren't supposed to do anything, and they just went ahead and did it.
So, we're thinking enforcement order
Well,
here.
this clearly
Could do
states
that.
nothing within 100 feet.
Yeah, right, so it's
So-
definitely an enforcement order.
So,
Could do an enforcement, or you could do like a letter of violation, which
No.
was kinda like we did with, and then say we will issue an enforcement if you do anything
No,
else.
let's issue the enforcement order. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, you already gave the other, you
Yeah,
know,
we already
and the
did
people
this, so
came
let's,
in-
let's hit them with an enforcement order.
yeah, and it's a different group. I mean, the enforcement order will have to be issued like to the association, because we don't have like
Yeah.
a specific
Oh, yeah,
person.
right, specifically,
But-
yeah, it has to go to the
But they'll
association.
know who did it and who, you
Yeah.
know, everybody
Now-
will know.
I
can
think
we
the,
issue an enforcement order and require that they be at the next meeting?
well,
And the, and
Or
the
that's
request.
to make them
We
want to
can
be at the
request,
next
yeah.
meeting?
I think they have to understand, if we don't do this enforcement order, then, you know, they say, well, we only took a few shrubs. Well, if they get away with that, then they can come back next week and take a few more and a few more and a
Then
few
we got an
more.
acre of trees
So-
that have been cut.
So do you want them, there's a couple things in here, it says you immediately desist from
Yep.
activities or resources, or you can make them do restoration, but I
Oh, yeah,
don't really.
we do it all.
Well, we'll discuss that when they come in.
Alright,
Yeah,
okay.
I think we
So
should
just do like
issue
the
an
basic
order.
thing on
I
the
think it should
form.
be a cease and desist, and it should be, you're in here for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll have you sign the last page, and
When's the
then,
next
and then I'll
meeting?
type it up and just put
2 weeks.
the basic things and have them come in on the 20th. How's that?
Good.
I'll make
Okay.
sure. I'll
Alright,
Anything.
yeah.
I'll tell those
Just tell
crazy
them, sign
cousins.
that.
I
Tell
have
them,
to
we'll
come
sign
back.
off that saying, your presence is requested at the next meeting.
What are we doing?
Yep.
You
Is-
need to
is-
sign that.
We just pass
Demanded.
this over to the head honcho.
Now, when we were
first.
there, the time we walked around and did everything,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I took pictures of that area because they had said they wanted to make a wading beach there, and we identified 2 trees left
Yeah,
and
I
right. We
remember
said
that,
you can
yeah.
go
For this
between
before we
here.
start signing this?
I don't know.
We need a motion.
We can make a motion to sign that?
Well, we probably should make a motion before we sign it, yeah.
But yes, there were definitely some trees and,
I'll look to see if I have them, and it may have been you who took pictures.
I don't remember. It's,
I'll look, if I don't have them,
Once we have a
I'll
motion.
be able to find them pretty quickly if I have them.
and
Yeah.
we did see when, this last time we went out, remember we saw a lot of higher branches were cut,
Yes,
kinda
they
open it
did
up so
what,
they
they
could
did vista pruning.
get sun
And they
stuff.
cut low-lying, shrubs
Yeah,
or
No one's
bushes
supposed to.
Yeah.
right at the water's edge.
Yeah, no one's
who
supposed to.
would like to make the motion to issue an enforcement order and
did.
requiring them to appear before the commission at the next meeting?
yep,
I'll make that motion. I'll make the motion that we issue a cease and desist order for the Pine Ridge
An
condominium
enforcement order,
project.
right?
enforcement order,
And an enforcement order, and that we require that someone representing the board be here at the next meeting on the 20th.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to issue an enforcement order to the Pine Ridge condo group, which committed some environmental action down on the edge of Sampson Pond, and requesting them to appear before the Concom at our next scheduled meeting, which would be June 20th.
June 20th.
Now,
Okay.
as I recall, an enforcement order, I just wanna make sure I understand.
Yeah, read there's a couple of boxes to check off, you know, but.
Yeah.
One, you send them right to Superior Court.
Well, I
I
think
know we
we're
don't wanna
asking
do that right away,
No, it's,
but
and
they
we can
should
find
know that
them,
we have that option.
and if you look at, you can find them up to $25,000 in imprisonment.
That sounds good.
Now,
Throw the whole association in jail.
something I was thinking about regarding this is that because the construction is ongoing on the additional 20 units
Yep.
and the builder has not come in for the COC yet.
No,
So can we withhold the COC?
Yes, we
I'm
can.
sure we can.
Yes.
All right, but now how does that affect the resale value of those condominiums? Because right now, even without a COC, those units have been sold to the current owners.
Right.
Current
Right.
owners actually have recourse.
Well, the current, yeah, and they should have had a COC before they bought the property.
That's what I was thinking, but they.
That's right.
Correct. And the current owners have an action against the builder and the developer.
Yeah, I would hold a COC over their heads.
You know, they might think they have an action, but he's not the one who did the cutting.
Right.
I understand that.
Who
But-
did the cutting?
The
residents.
The
The
residents.
people, the
The
residents,
residents did that,
not the builder. Yeah, the builder didn't have to, it was the
but
residents.
he'll let them know about it. And
Yeah.
the issue is, then we'll probably get our posts where they belong back there, so forth and so on,
Well, we did.
by the builder.
Yeah, one of them did get knocked down. We saw that one.
Well, I think there's, I think before we go jumping through hoops here, I think just a cease and desist and
Oh,
you
yes.
order them to
Oh,
be
yeah, no, we're
here.
doing that.
They
There's
come
no
in
doubt
for the
about it.
next meeting and then we find out,
Maybe
you
we
know, what are you
should
guys
CC the
doing?
builder in.
I just want to, I was just more curious as to what our options are down the road.
Yeah.
And I would CC the
So
builder
I think
in.
we have a lot of options down the road. I know you
Yeah.
said something today about the second beach. You
Right.
could, we could withdraw the approval for the first beach, take it all out.
So you're saying if they
So-
did anything more, we would withhold the COC?
Or if
no,
they
no.
didn't meet with our order of conditions
Oh.
after we meet with them, if they
Right.
don't replant and let
Yeah.
the undergrowth grow
Yeah.
back. And my suggestion, or my thought is to replant one pine tree.
Oh,
That's
right. for the-
maybe-
Or as many as they cut, you know, they may have cut more.
Well, no, I'm more interested where they did the vista pruning on the
Okay.
lower
Oh,
branches.
yeah, okay.
So they could clear the view,
Yeah.
to transplant a 10 or a 12-foot white pine
Uh-huh.
right there.
Right.
So that, you're blocking the view from the water up to.
Yeah.
up
I mean,
to
you
the
could make them replant shrubs, but, I mean, I think those
Well,
are
we'll
gonna
make them
grow back.
redo that too. I
Well,
mean,
no,
if
they-
they took the shrubs out, we can make them put them
They
back.
cut them about
They just-
6 inches high.
Yeah,
They're
the
gonna grow
stumps are
back.
still
Oh,
there.
They'll
okay.
grow back by August.
Okay. All right.
That letter clearly states what they could and could not do, so they're well aware of what they did
I'll attach that letter,
to
our first letter.
But I
provoke
would
this
also,
order.
also talk about the certificate of compliance, the COC, and CC the builder in.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
keep the builder in the
We-
loop.
They don't have
Yes,
they don't
because
have
he's
a
the one who's
COC.
gonna
Because
come back
remember
for
we
the
gave him-
COC.
Sure.
We gave him a
And it's
partial
his COC
certificate for
that's
the
hanging
first
out
phase.
there.
Right.
You remember that, and we
Yeah.
only gave him a partial for the first phase, but, and, which is right here, actually. And then, not for the second.
Right.
We're withholding the COC until everything's straightened out.
Well, I think you
Yeah.
And
just,
I don't, let's
then
not
you
say we're
CC the
doing that.
builder in.
yeah,
Let's just say that we want him to, I think, agree with Alan, let's let him be aware.
yeah.
that
Invite the
we put
builder
this
in the
enforcement
20th.
order on
Okay.
and the reasons
Okay.
why.
Right,
All
because
right.
ultimately, we're looking to find a solution to keep everybody happy, but we can't, as a board, get trampled on by a resident who decides, I don't really care what you guys want, I'm doing it this way.
Right, and by seeing the order of enforcement and the reasons for it, the builder's gonna know that his COC's in jeopardy.
Exactly.
Right.
So we don't have to mention
Okay,
it.
I'll find out who the builder is.
You might want to give him a call. She might want to just give
Do you
Yeah,
have any
that's
idea
fine.
who the builder is out
the
there?
builder a call.
I mean, I'll find out
We'll
I can
find
find
out,
out,
yeah.
the building.
It's
department.
in the
Hey, Brett.
permitting department.
Hey,
Oh,
Brooke,
they should
you
have
might
something
want to
on the,
just give the builder a call.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that's a good idea, because he
Yeah.
probably doesn't have any.
Just say,
idea.
by the way.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
All right, so we need to sign this?
Great.
yeah.
okay,
Well, we haven't voted on it yet, Mr. Chairman.
yes. We haven't voted, so we need to vote to issue this.
Yeah.
It's been
So I just
moved,
need
I
to
think, and
just-
seconded, right?
Yeah.
So, all those in favor of issuing the enforcement order to the
What's the business?
condo group at what's the name of the?
Pine Ridge.
Pine Ridge on Sampson's Pond, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Pass unanimously. Okay.
So I have both letters,
I
you know,
think we
first
should
one that we
attach
sent,
this
and
to
then
it
when they
also.
came in, so I'll send both of those, just so.
I attach this to that also.
I make sure I tell my cousins I gotta be back here by the 20th.
Be a
good one.
So that sheet,
Goes to the association.
Yeah,
My mother was the last of 16 children.
Oh,
They're farmers. They all have like 12 kids. I got 144 first cousins.
Visits anticipated for June
I mean, I think that's gotta be some kind of record.
What's
I
that?
remember you saying that
No.
last time.
Visits anticipated for June
Oh,
6th.
Everybody
I did
no,
know,
it can't be.
so I don't think we need to
Man.
include them, that's just
No.
an FYI, right?
Right.
Right,
So,
so
uh,
they
from-
have to be in the meeting minutes.
I can't even
Oh, so
write
from
it.
now on in the agenda, I'm putting that on the bottom of the
Right,
agenda so
okay.
that it covers us, you know.
I don't think it needs to be in the minutes at all, I think it just needs to be on the
Yeah.
There's
agenda.
nothing in
Yeah,
there.
it probably
It should
does.
actually be put on the website when we post the agenda, just so that it's out there that we're doing it, right?
I've done,
So it
I
was
did
there,
2 of those
so
over in.
Yeah, you-
The last
take
page
that
is
out.
where the signature goes.
He's coming home with me.
Brooke,
Just let you know.
was there something that you wanted to say about 0 Center Street as well?
Oh,
That
yeah.
was something.
As
that-
far as I know, they're not appealing that, for a superseding order. So that's dead.
That's the solar on the Cranberry Bog
Yeah.
Center.
I'm shocked.
Withdrawn.
Done?
Yeah.
So it seems so.
They may come back if they can figure out a better
Right.
approach that they can do.
So can I have that letter, Jim?
Yeah.
Brooke wants that for the file.
Just so I can.
Don't we have more copies?
I was thinking.
And could I have
I'll
those
have to make
pictures?
some more copies, I
Yeah.
want this, I wanna
On
attach
his
this to the other one.
it's
Yeah, would you make some copies of that?
This one?
So- Yes, of those 2 letters.
Yep.
It has to be endorsed.
And these are the
It has to be endorsed.
photos
Yeah,
against
I
it.
don't.
All right.
You get a couple of cranberry growers.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
I don't know, do we want to adjourn yet, or
I think
want to
so.
stay and
Yeah, I'm done.
BS for another 20 minutes? No.
I'm good.
I mean, they still might appeal that, I'm not sure, but I haven't heard anything, the 10 days is up.
Well,
And the
yeah.
engineer said he didn't think they were going to, so.
There you go.
Okay, well, yeah, 10 days is up.
No
I think
panels.
The good news is that they're not gonna do it. The bad news is we don't have any clarification on the DEP.
That's kinda exactly what I know, we kinda
Yeah,
wanted
so-
it, I know.
Okay, but we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Let's let JP make the motion. It'll be his first motion.
Oh God.
So,
Don't be nervous.
Let's hear it.
Motion. What do I say?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn this meeting.
Hey, I'll second.
Been moved, moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting of June 6th. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
aye.
Look at that, Valor's ready to go.
Oppose? Or you wanna stay here all night?
All right, good.
Oh, you can't come with
Fight
me,
with the
buddy.
wife or something? You don't wanna go home?
Nope.
Are we out?
Not ever.
Are we over there, young man?
Are we out?